deck is so incredibly busted. Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games. So I've been playing this Lurrus of the Dream deck, Aristocrats deck I put together. So let's jump right into the deck tech. Alright, Lurrus of the Dream Den is a legendary creature. He's a cat nightmare and he's a 3-cost. So he's 2 hybrid mana, white-black, and then 1. We get a 3/2 lifelinker, and he's a companion, which is really important because we actually play him as a companion in this deck, which means that we can cast him once from outside of the game as long as our deck meets the following conditions, and that's each permanent card in this deck has to have a CMC of 2 or less, which we cover all of those bases. During each of our turns, we may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard. So that's his sort of special ability. Totally amazing. This deck is so super resilient. It is incredible. Wait till you guys see some of the gameplay. I'll include a bunch of gameplay videos after the deck tech, so make sure you check those out. All right, let's jump into the rest of the deck. So it runs cat and oven combos, so we're 4 of the cat and 3 of the oven. Needed to make a little bit of space in the deck, so I'm only running 3 ovens. The cat oven thing is great. It's sort of a nice little extra aside, but it's not an essential factor to winning in the deck. Then our regular sort of creatures are, I've got 4 Order of Midnight, and the reason why I'm running 4 Order of Midnight is in order for this deck to operate smoothly, you want to have Lurrus of the Dream Den out sort of ASAP, and then he needs to stick around. So there's a few things in the deck that will protect him, because this guy might as well have a gigantic bullseye painted on his back, right? So Order of Midnight is there just sort of as a backup plan in case all our other sort of protection measures fall through. It's sort of a little bit of a fail-safe. We can grab Lurrus back from our graveyard and then just sort of replay him on a subsequent turn. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is really good. We just sack a bunch of stuff that we don't need. It's Aristocrats, so of course we're running things like Corpse Knight and Cruel Celebrant, so we get the extra damage every time our creatures are on the way in, and then we get the extra damage every time our creatures are on the way out. And of course Cruel Celebrant also gains us life, so really nice with stuff like Cat Oven. We're just gaining a whole bunch of life, doing a whole bunch of our damage to our opponents without even ever really attacking. Like most Aristocrat decks, you won't really attack a lot with this deck. It's basically just kind of drain them. So then Priest of Forgotten Gods, of course, fits into that scenario because we can just sort of sack things away. We get, drain off of Cruel Celebrant, and we're forcing them to sack their creatures and also losing some extra life. And then we can cast things back again from our graveyard with Lurrus of the Dream Den. So all sort of really super synergistic, this whole block right here. Now, like I said, this guy has a gigantic bullseye painted on his back, so we need ways to protect him. The best way is Chaos Ghost form. So what I do is, you'll see in most of the games, I learned very quickly when I started playing this deck not to bring this guy out on turn 3, because as soon as you do, they're going to smoke him. And then you're trying to figure out how you're going to get him back from your graveyard. So I typically wait until I either have All Seed out or Chaos Ghost form, and then 1 extra mana. So ideally I'm going to be casting Lurrus on turn 4. So with Chaos Ghost form is the best choice for sure. We just enchant Lurrus right away with this, and then he's virtually impossible to get rid of, because as soon as they try and go ahead and kill Lurrus or board wipe or something like that, he just comes back. And then next turn we use Lurrus's ability. During each of our turns, we may cast 1 permanent with CMC 2 or less from our graveyard. Just cast Chaos Ghost form, put it back on Lurrus. They can never really get rid of him. Perfect. It even grabs him if they happen to exile him. And then sort of the other sort of backup plan in the event that you don't have a Chaos Ghost form is All Seed of Life's Bounty. So play out All Seed, and he's really only in this deck to protect Lurrus, that's for sure. So play out All Seed, on our earlier turn, play Lurrus turn 4 and leaving 1 mana up for All Seed, and then we have All Seed to protect him with whatever they happen to do. A lot of things like the I think it's called Storm's Wrath and stuff like that, like that deal a bunch of damage to everything on the board. Those kind of spells running around right now. Gates of Blaze is there's a Gates of Blaze deck out there that's really gaining in popularity really quickly. So if I have a chance, I'll actually do a video on that. So maybe keep your eyes out for that. But the Gates of Blaze deck is definitely back, like Gates deck. So Gatebreaker Ram and then Gates of Blaze and all that kind of stuff. So really good deck right now. And then All Seed will protect Lurrus from things like Gates of Blaze, right? A few other things, some spot removal. I put in 3 copies of Glass Casket just to deal with sort of early game stuff, especially when you're going up against mono red or some sort of red aggro deck for sure. It's really nice to have Glass Casket. And then Dire Tactics is super solid. This is one of the best new cards out of this Ikoria set for sure, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Definitely in the uncommon slot, one of the higher or better quality uncommons for sure. So Dire Tactics is 1 white and 1 black, instant speed, exile a creature, super good, super important. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. So really nice sort of include in this deck, cheap way to exile something. Those annoying Mayhem Devils or things that just kind of keep recurring. Often we'll have either Order of Midnight or Priest of Forgotten Gods, so a lot of times it doesn't even hurt us if we actually cast Dire Tactics, but even if we do end up not having a human, generally we're happy to pay 3, 4, even up to 5 life or whatever just to get rid of a problem card. So that's pretty much the deck. The land package is pretty simple. I run 8 plains, 9 swamps, 4 Godless Shrines, and I only run 1 Temple of Silence. I'm not super big on tap lands, so just 1 Temple of Silence in this deck. All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech. Make sure you check out some of the gameplay videos, especially that first one. You'll really get to see how Lurrus works incredibly well with Kaya's Ghost Form. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And you can find the deck list for this deck in the description of the video. All right, enjoy the gameplay, guys. All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know if you would make any changes to this deck in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Like I said, it really helps me out. All right, bye for now.